Hiya folks, I'm Grim and welcome to Grim Grooves, a channel where I react to and review music of all kinds. Today we'll be checking out The Inevitable from the Frostpunk expansion the last autumn, I believe. You guys asked for this a few times after my last Frostpunk songs, and I'm really excited to check this out because everything that I've heard from Frostpunk so far, even though it's only a few songs, they've all been just so intense and so epic and so awesome. And so I'm assuming this will be the same kind of vein, maybe a little bit different, but regardless, I'm excited to check it out nonetheless. But if you've got anything else you'd like me to check out, throw it down in the comments. And while you're down there, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, because it only takes a second and it helps the channel so much. And I'm eternally grateful to all of you for supporting me. And I'd also like to thank my Patreon supporters, because without their support, I wouldn't be able to continue doing this, so thank you. And without further ado, let's check out The Inevitable. I think that might be a viola in the background. Sounds so fantastic. It might be a violin. It's some kind of string instrument. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, because it's hard to pull these out sometimes. But regardless, it sounds so fantastic. This is exactly as epic as I was expecting it to be, and I'm assuming it's going to blow up and get a lot more crazy. But just the feelings of foreboding stress, like you never know what's going to happen, and you're uneasy. Is like the anxiety of this music is always so interesting. Like, even though I've never really played the game, and I do intend to because it seems amazing, but it's just so cool, like how something that I've never played before in a game I've never played before can still evoke such emotions from me, like, because it's just so well done. We're only in the first like 45 seconds here. It's almost like horror movie music. Cello. I just know that section that we just had there was like the motif from the main theme, I believe. Or it was one of the songs I've heard before. I'm not sure if it was the main theme or if it was the other song I heard. But it's really interesting, like the da 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 da. Like, it's really well done, and the way that they've kind of meshed it in there worked really well. And like, again, as I was saying, as the song was playing, this feels like horror movie music. Like, it definitely fits that. And I'm assuming the last autumn might be like, because you guys were telling me that, like, well, I think I know just from, I guess, knowing about the game, it's like some kind of frozen apocalypse kind of thing. So I'm guessing this would be like the last autumn before that happened. So you know that dread is coming, but there's still some hope and stuff like that. Everything's not as frozen and cold yet. But this is super interesting though, and yeah, really good melody. There it is again. Now we're introduced to hope and sadness. Like, the beginning of the song was very much like dread, anxiety, like no one knows what's coming, but everyone's freaked out about it. And then you start getting into it, and like we hear the bits of the main theme, which has a bit of hope in there. And now we're getting into like just more building different, like so many different string melodies, and some of the string melodies are very like mournful and kind of sad and dreadful, and then we have some other ones that are like very hopeful and like beautiful. And I mean, this is all so beautiful, but this is so cool. It's interesting, the storytelling in this music, like, because that whole section we just heard, it felt like things were hopeful, and then now it's like we need to work, we need to get things done because things might not work out, and then it just kind of, everything kind of calms down, and it's like, did we do enough, is the feeling you get. It's like this, that anxiety is back a little bit, but not so pronounced as it was in the beginning. But it's like there was like that section where it's just like driving melodies, and it's like the strings weren't as heavy, and it was just like, again, it felt like we need to get work done. Like there's stress, there's hope, then we need to like work towards the future. And then it's like now this section we're in now is like, again, did we do enough? I could be completely wrong, but that's the kind of vibes I get from this song so far. But we're about to find out if they did enough or not in the song. Crazy crescendo back to the horror vibes. A little bit of strings and dissonance at the end. Wow. So I was saying before, it was like we're going to see in the music how it goes, and like if it's going to be like, if the people are going to make it past what they're trying to do, if the work was enough. The feeling I got from that end part of this song was very much like two forces clashing. So in this case, it would be like man versus the wild, like the winter, the cold, like the elements, essentially. It's like two forces clashing, and it ended with a big crescendo with the sting, and like we don't know what happened, but it was epic nonetheless. Like that was so fantastic. Like just again, the storytelling through this music was so interesting. And again, I could be completely off, but that's kind of the vibes I got from this song in general. And there was so many just fantastic melodies there, like so high energy, so frantic, so like so epic, like just so many different epic elements there coinciding, and the way that they kind of stripped things back a little bit and then built it back up, and just again just telling a story in the way that they did the music, starting off with just like horror, like the dread of the situation that's at hand, and then things start getting a little more hopeful. It's like there's a chance we could survive, and then we put in the work to try and fix things to make things we're prepared for everything that's coming. And then we find out, did we do enough? And then the winter comes, or the cold comes, and now there's the conflict between the people and the weather and the survival and the stress and everything. And then it just ends after a huge like cacophony of melodies or music into just peacefulness again, to once again just the dread is left, the cold is left, wow, like, it's so cool. Like, and again, this is just what I've kind of intuited from listening to this music. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I've never played the game, but that's kind of the vibe I got. And it's cool nonetheless that the story, like, that I can kind of pick this stuff up, whether it's right or not, is just like, the music is done so well that it kind of tells a story, even if that story is misconstrued here and there by a layman like myself. It's still amazing to see. But anyways, thanks for hanging out and watching my reaction. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And until next time, later days, folks.
Don't got a job, don't got a